ASMR, you are being tenderly cleaned with my robe. Let's do this. So it has been, not sponsored, it has been a month or something and change since my last big video. Sorry about that. I filmed it when I should have been working on my finals. So you can imagine, I had a lot of things to catch up on after that. And then summer break started, and then I kept on saying, I'm gonna make that funny video now. And then I didn't. So now we're like a week to like July, and I'm finally making this. I kept on saying I would, and I am, so fuck yeah. And if you're wondering, is this going to be like another serious video where I'm gonna talk about issues in the theater industry? That'll be another time, okay? Sometimes I just want to make stupid shit. And right now, I want to talk about this particular thing. Can you tell I'm insane? It's also almost 1 a.m. It's almost 1 a.m. So this intro is already way too long. So here's the video. I have a PowerPoint about Misha Collins. Already people are clicking out of this, and that's fair. Unfortunately, I don't enjoy Supernatural. I don't like Supernatural. I don't have a good time watching it, but I've watched it. So basically, this video is going to be a PowerPoint that I did, but now it's a video essay detailing Misha Collins' Supernatural characters based on, like, ranking them based on if I think they would give me a good tip at Starbucks if I worked at a Starbucks. Yeah. This is just what's gonna be. It's just, I need something fun, I need something fun, you need something fun, enjoy this, okay? I actually lied, it's not a PowerPoint, it's a Google slide. I'm sorry that this was clickbait. I lied. Let's fucking go. Okay, so first up we have some criteria to go over before we get into the logistics. So the criteria, it's gotta be Misha Collins, so it can't be like the character he plays in Supernatural Castiel in other characters' bodies, which has happened before. That doesn't fly in this situation, so no. It has to have been in a full episode, which I then break, I'm going to be frank. And bonus points if he does a horrible accent, which he does a lot. So get ready for this, it's gonna be great. Ranking in at number 12 is Cassifer, which is when Castiel was possessed by Lucifer, which is, yes, that's a thing that happened in Supernatural. He would kill me after complaining about his daddy issues for a solid 12 minutes. Like, he would come up to the counter and be like, hi, yes, I hate my dad. He's so annoying, he's God. And I would just be there at the Starbucks being like, sir, please, I'm begging. I'm a minimum wage worker. And then he would murder me because he didn't even order. And then when I ask him to order, he asks if I can have Frappuccino with my blood. And I'm like, what? And then he kills me. But then I get resurrected because the storyline needs to go on. And he doesn't even tip. He doesn't even tip. Negative 3,658,000 something numbers. I don't fucking know. Not cool, I died. Next up is The Empty, which is, if you guys have any bare minimum understanding of Supernatural, you know that on November 5th, 2020, during the presidential election, Castiel got sucked up to go to Super Mega Turbo Hell. Right? Yeah, it's not called Super Mega Turbo Hell, it's called The Empty, and when it was introduced in season 13, they had Misha Collins play like the personification, like as Cass, but like also as not Cass. And he did an accent that was so weird that they didn't let him play the character anymore, which I think is very funny. Hello. It's me, your favorite supernatural cosmic entity. It's like something fucking weird. But yeah, anyway, the empty is, its whole thing is that he wants to sleep. They want to sleep, and they don't want to be interrupted when they try to go to sleep. So I think they would go into the Starbucks and then complain about the music being loud, and be very rude to me and my coworkers. And then they would order something really excessive, like a macchiato with like decaf, 3 shots of vanilla with coconut milk, like just very extravagant. But then tips me the goop that sucked up Castiel. 0 out of 10. I think that's self-explanatory. Next up is alternate universe Cass. This was when in season 13, I think this was also season 13. This was when in this universe, Sam and Dean were never born. So Cass never got to be like a cool angel. He stayed like a mean angel. And then for some reason he's German. I don't know why he was German. So I said that he seems like he's very mean. So I think he would be really mean to me because he would see that I'm very visibly like queer and he would be like, gross. He would order an Americano because I don't like Americano, so I think I'm just giving that to him generally. And doesn't tip cause he sucks, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't like his vibes. I don't like him, and I'm pretty sure Castiel, like normal Castiel, kills this one in that same episode, so like, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, like again, a 1 out of 10 because at least he doesn't tip me the empty goop or kill me. Next up is Jimmy Novak. Jimmy Novak is Castiel's vessel. Which, by the way, you should understand that the angels in Supernatural are giant cosmic entities, so they have to use vessels, and they have to ask consent to go into the vessel. And I don't know, man. It's really complicated. I'm not here to explain supernatural lore to you, okay? Fuck you. Basically, Jimmy Novak's whole thing is that he's really Christian, so I think Jimmy Novak would go into the Starbucks, order a plain coffee, and I'm imagining it's like around holiday time, so he would get mad that the coffee cups are red and don't say like Merry Christmas or anything. He would be like, oh, why does this say Happy Holidays? It's the Lord's, you know, he would be like really pissy about it. And so he would be like, where's your manager? And I'd be like, I'm the manager. Yeah, he doesn't tip. 2 out of 10, because at least it's not killing me. The bar is really low. Next up is Misha Collins. And I'm not just saying like Misha Collins is in general. I mean like he actually played himself in an episode. If you don't watch Supernatural, you should just at least watch The French Mistake because it's fucking buck wild. I really recommend it. It's very funny. Essentially, Sam and Dean get transported to a universe where Supernatural is a TV show and they have to play Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki, and they meet Misha Collins. Yeah. I think Misha Collins the character, not the actor. I don't know Misha Collins personally, so I can't attest if he's like a good person. But at least in the show, he's a little bit of a bitch. Would also have an insanely complicated order. And he would also be on his phone the whole time because the whole gimmick in the episode was that Misha Collins was always on his phone tweeting. Yeah, so I think he would be on his phone like the whole time, so I wouldn't even really understand his order. And then he tips me a check, like he writes out a check, puts it in the tip jar, winks, and then when I go to cash it in later that day, it bounces back. It does not work. It's an invalid check. 3 out of 10 because at least I can say that I got Misha Collins' autograph at the end of it. Next up is Leviathan Castiel, which I guess is tied to Godstiel. I could be wrong. I really don't understand the Godstiel Leviathan arc. Because, okay, to my understanding, It starts off with Castiel inhaling a bunch of souls, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna be God now. And then he kills a bunch of homophobes and racists, which is like, yeah, work. I think this was honestly like, this was actually a ploy to get Castiel killed off. They were trying to make him a villain, and so they were like, we're gonna make him kill homophobes, and everyone was like, yes! And the creators were like, what? Wait, you're not supposed to like that! So to my knowledge, that's the Godseal arc, but then it ties into the Leviathans, where then it turns out that like he's also part. I don't understand. I'm just gonna rank it like they're the same, okay? They're gonna be on the same thing. If I'm wrong, flame me in the comments. I don't know, okay? I'm confused. Now that that's over. Anyway, so because he kills racists and homophobes, I think he would look at me and be like, this is a good one. So, while he does also ask me if like he can add some blood into his Frappuccino, when I tell him no, he's like, that's okay. And I get him raspberry syrup as a replacement because unlike Cassifer, I feel like Godsteel would at least be a little reasonable. Yeah, he tips me at least $5 because he has God money. So like 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10, I'll say that. Next up is Endverse Cass. Yay! I know I keep on saying alternate universe. There are a lot of alternate universes here, gang. Endverse Cass is another alternate universe. This time, Sam accepts Lucifer as to be his vessel, and the world is in an apocalypse, and Dean is depressed, and Cass loses his powers, and he becomes like a hippie. Got it? Okay. So Endverse Cass, I called him a stinky king. I feel like he would try to sell me weed. Like I would be at the counter. Like this is me at the counter, right? And then he's here. And he would be like, hey, would you like some weed? No, thank you. Ask if I had weed. And then I would be very confused. And I'd say no. And so I get him a matcha latte. And then he tips me dirt. 4 out of 10. Next up is Human Cass. So at a point, Cass was a human. This is also called Steve because he worked at a gas and sip and stuff. So he had a little thing that said Steve. It's very cute. Human Cass, similarly to Jimmy, orders a plain black coffee. I ask him if he wants room for milk, and then he tears up and he says that he's felt very lonely, which is way more deep than I wanted to get into at a 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. So I pat his shoulder and I give him a free cookie, and then he tips me $10 covered in tear stains. Poor guy. 5 out of 10. Next up is Honey Cass, which I actually do not have in the slide. This is just something I added in myself. Yeah. Honey Cass is when, I believe Sam went to hell and then had like some issues, like he had some issues. Sam always has issues. Cass was like, I got you. I'll just take all your brain oof. And then so like for a couple of episodes, I think, he was like they kept, like the old name used to be Crazy Cass, but people were like, no, let's not call him that. Like let's not. So Honey Cass, I feel like would come into the Starbucks and start telling me a really long-winded story about bees and how he followed one into the Starbucks, which is when then I realized that there's a bee in the Starbucks and I'm mildly freaking out because I'm scared of bees, but it's fine. I'll be fine. And so I asked him what he wants, and he wants a tea. It's very sweet, so I put a lot of sugar in it to make sure it's sweet enough for him, because he's a sweet boy and he deserves everything. And then he would tip me some honey that he has canonically in a little baggie. 6 out of 10. That's a good time. I'll use that honey. Next up is Scooby Natural. I can't explain Scooby Natural, okay? They were like, let's do a crossover episode. And so, in the middle of an arc where their adopted son is in Apocalypse World, they were like, let's have a fucking mid-season episode where Sam and Dean and Cass get trapped in Scooby-Doo World. And they made sure that Cass looked great. Literally, he looks the best out of the three of them. Chef's kiss. I honestly didn't have much to say about this one. He gets a coffee and he tips me Monopoly money, okay? But it's an 8 out of 10 because he looks great. Predictably, number 1 is normal Cass. Listen, it's Castiel. I love him. It's that lovely dude. We love Castiel. I believe that if Castiel appeared at my Starbucks, he would stand at the cash register, not talking. He would just stand there really awkwardly. He'd be like squinting. He's like, hello, I'm Castiel. I don't know what to order. So I would help him figure out what he would want to drink. And eventually we settle on a strawberry refresher. And he puts his whole wallet in the tip jar, not realizing that that's like not common. It's a 10 out of 10. Like you can't, it's a 10 out of 10. Look at this guy. Look how awkward he looks. Love this guy. And with that, that is my comprehensive list. I think I'm right. And that's what matters to me. Yeah. I know this isn't the video that anyone expected of me, but I'm glad I did it because I'm fucking funny. I'm funny. It is almost 1 a.m. It is 1 a.m. Good night, everybody.